future of batteries. One of the big questions I get about that is, Mike, what is the future of batteries? What's the forecast? What's the outlook look like? Here's the thing I know. There is a huge shortage of electricity inside the United States. Because of all these electric vehicles coming online, the demand because of all these homes and all these new houses we're building is increasing the demand exponentially. And on the backhand side is we're shutting down coal-fired plants, we're running natural gas plants so hard that we're liquidating them, and the input cost, natural gas, has gone up about 400%. So the cost has gone up considerably. Like on the western part of the United States, it's a drought, so the hydropower dams are not working, and like new resources coming online. So we got wind, we got solar, we got these things right here. These things are good, but if you take and you pause and you think about it, okay? Solar really works really well when there's sunlight. Wind works really, really well when it's windy. And one of the biggest things I hear all the time is, well, you should go set up a windmill over here because it blows and blows and blows and my house almost tips over. You're gonna hear that a lot, okay? Truth is if I go put up like Wyoming is probably one of the windiest places. They put up windmills there. As much as it blows there, it's not enough to produce all the electricity that they take and they need because there's sometimes it's not blowing. And so what's coming into play is we've got this renewable source, but we're gonna end up having to figure out how to contain, to trap, or to hold this energy so it can be used at a later date. The reason this is becoming bigger and bigger and more important is because we have such an increase in demand for electricity and we have a reducing supply. Brownouts and blackouts are on the table. California's been having brownouts and blackouts for years. And for example, what they did last year is they said, look, we have to do something different. And so they literally went into the open marketplace and they started buying up electricity in all of the surrounding states and locking down those contracts. So then when states like, say, Utah, Arizona, or Nevada, or whatever, we go into the open market trying to buy this electricity, it's not there. It's off the table. And so we're getting into these crazy bidding wars, and we're paying more, and we're paying more, and we're paying more. And so collectively, the cost of electricity across the United States last year went up 47%. This year, like my utility company just 3 weeks ago did a 40% rate increase. They told me next year to expect a 60% rate increase the next year. And for the next decade, we're gonna be double-digit rate increases on electricity. Problem is we're shutting down resources that we needed, like coal, natural gas and stuff, without actually bringing on a considerable amount of new resources to offset that. So like one of the things that they have on the table is a nuclear power plant. Yes, we need one. We haven't built them in a long time. It's a renewable source. It's a very clean source, but that's 10 years out. In fact, my utility company right here, right now, is in the process of trying to take ownership in one. The timetable is that they're probably not going to see it for 10 years. So in the meantime, there's going to be an increase in demand for electricity and a shrinking supply. Now we're putting up solar fields. We're putting up wind farms. But collectively, we have to have a way to be able to store that so we can use it at night. So do batteries have a future? Yes, they do. The big thing that people think is like batteries are going to get cheaper and cheaper. Possibly. I have a client that got batteries. They got 2 batteries, really cool system. Okay, it was $46,000 for that system. In the last like 4 months, well, in the last 6 months, it's not even 6 months, it's the last 4 months. That exact same system they bought for 48 grand and be 70,000. And we're doing projects where people need it. They're up into the tune of 90,000. The price on those batteries actually didn't come down. It's gone up substantially for the customer to be able to buy it. Inflation is absolutely making sure that the cost of those things continue to rise. Now, I do believe there's other technologies that can come online, but here's the question. If you already know the brownouts and blackouts are going to be on the table, it's not going to ruin my life, I guess, if my power goes out, but considering where I'm at, I've got about 4 feet of snow outside of the house right now. Like when the power goes out, I want my furnace, I want that fan to still blow. Okay, I had that happen this winter. All of a sudden the power went out. Everybody in my town was out of power. There's only a few of us up here that actually have generators or batteries in play. We didn't notice. Like life just carried on. We were totally fine. Everybody else is like panicking, trying to figure out how or where or what they're gonna do. Those brownouts and blackouts are straight up on the table going into the future because we have a shortage of power. Like, there's no way around it. We have a shortage of power. Hence why the federal government's like trying to push out incentives, trying to encourage people to get it. That's why states are trying to encourage people to do it. There is a huge demand trying to figure out how to get energy because like our entire world revolves around it. And batteries are going to be a big part of that future. Now, do I think a new battery technology is going to come out that's possibly better? Sure, why not? But what I can tell you about batteries now, I've got 4 of them on my house. They're good enough. They can power my entire house. I can operate it. I could operate off grid. If we went out of power for a month, I probably should put more panels up, but I would be fine, okay? Because the batteries are that good. And so I don't see any part in the future in which batteries are not very critical to what we're doing. And the batteries that we have today are actually good enough to do what we need done.